Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Mike Hermes at MH Tutorials, and today we're going to model a Lego brick. Nothing too fancy, but you never know when you're going to need one in your scene. So here we go. We're going to start off in our polygons, so we're going to select a cube, and we're going to left click and drag that out on the grid to roughly what you imagine to be the shape of a Lego brick. And then we're going to pull that up a little bit. Just going to quickly go to my top view and hit W, and I want to kind of align that with my grid, something like that, and hit R to scale it a little bit so we know where we're at. Maybe that, no, actually, yeah, okay, something like that. Hit W to pull it down a bit. Okay, right. So now we're going to hit 5 for shaded mode. Okay, so this is the rough layout, so to speak. If you want exact references, you can find them on the web, and you can go through image plane and load out the image and copy it that way. I just want to eyeball it. Okay, so now we've got the outline. We're going to right click on it, go to face mode, select the top face, and hit delete. So now we've got this empty box. Now the walls should have some thickness to it, so that's what we're going to adjust now. So we're going to right click on the whole object, go to object mode, click on it, and as you can see, we're now in object mode. I'm going to go to edit mesh and extrude. Again, in my polygons menu, edit mesh, extrude. I'm going to hit R, and I'm going to scale that out to give it some body. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that everything will be adjusted in the same way, so we need to tweak that a bit. So we're going to go back to our top view, and I'm going to pull this back a little so it's approximately the same thickness. Okay, that's part one. Now we're going to go and see if the angle is straight or not. As you can see, it's not, it's sloping. So we need to get this little green handlebar here, push that back, and let's see if that will give us a nice, almost. You can see in this view here that by pushing that, that looks a bit better. Okay, let's see. Okay, so hit 4 for wireframe mode, and the only thing we need to do now is to make the top a bit thicker. So I'm going to flip this thing over so I'm not looking at the bottom of it all the time. So right click, object mode, select it, flip it over, and hit E if this isn't showing up. Something like that. Make sure you're at 90 degrees. In this case 180 because we flipped it over like that. Okay. Okay, so now you got these extremely straight edges here, and I just want to break them just slightly. So I'm going to right click on this here, go to edge, select, 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 and select just on these top 4 here, and I'm going to go to edit mesh and to bevel. Now that is way, way, way too much, as you can see. So I'm going to bring that back to, let's say, 5 segments and just a little bit, 0.007, something like that. Okay. All right, next. We need to create these cylindrical shapes on top. So we're going to go and create a cylinder, pull it up a bit, hit F to zoom in, And I want to make sure it's nice and round so I don't have these angles here. So I'm going to go to my polycylinder and I'm going to increase the subdivisions to 60. So that's nice and round. And with this edge here, right click again, edge. Again, I want to just break that a little bit. So I'm going to click on the first edge. I'm going to shift, double click. Come on, that should work. Try that again. Click. Need to zoom in a bit, guys. Sometimes that happens. I don't know why it's not responding. Okay. It's not responding for some reason, but I'll do it another way. Okay, so I'm going to drag, select. So I got that. Edit mesh, bevel, and there you go. Just broke that top there. Okay. All right, right click on it, object mode. And now I'm going to start to roughly position that. Hit W to move up, move out. Okay. So now we're going to start to shape that. So I'm going to go to my top view. And I know that there are 6 on a Lego block or brick. So I'm going to hit R to scale that out. Make it a bit bigger. Hit W, move it a bit in position, and see how that pans out. Okay, so that will be 1, 2, 3. So one there, one there, one there, and etc. Okay, so I'm going to put the first one there. Yeah, just increase the size a little bit by hitting R. Okay, and now we're going to check it from this angle here. Okay, from this angle you can see it a bit better. If I were to copy that over, I would be cramped for space, so to speak. So I'm going to hit W, Control D to duplicate it. And as you can see, they're still fairly large. So try that again, delete that one, select that one, scale it down just a little bit. Hit Control D again, W to move it over. That looks a little bit better. It looks fairly aligned, okay. So I got these two. And if I were to copy these over, so now I'm selecting both of them, going back to my top view, hit Control D, that would be somewhere in the middle, and Shift D, okay. That would be, okay. All right, now I need to go back a few steps because now that I know that it's going to fit, I need to put the Lego logo on a brick, right? Get rid of that one. So how are we going to do that? We're going to zoom in. We're going to go to Create, go to Text, and hit the option box. And I'm going to put Lego in here in capitals and hit Create just with my standard settings. And as you can see, I got this huge text here. Now, first of all, I'm going to hit R to scale it down quite a bit. Just hit W to move it out so I can see it a bit better. Okay. I'm going to hit E to rotate it. Make sure I'm at 90 degrees, minus 90 on X. And I want to rotate it in that angle as well. And again, that should be minus 90. Hit W to move it up and get it roughly in the neighborhood of where it should be. And again, now we're going to go to the top view and we're going to start to position that. So hit R, scale it down, 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 W to move it, hit F to zoom in. Let's see if we're okay with that or not. That looks about right. And again, I'm eyeballing this. If you want to follow an exact reference, that's possible. I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. From our side view, we need to make sure that it's going into this thing here. Now, I don't have a lot of room to work with, so I'm going to hit R to scale it, and I'm going to make it a bit thicker. If this line is too long and it's getting outside of your screen, just hit the minus on your numeric keypad, like that. Okay, and I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. Okay. Now I'm going to hit W, pull it down, and just pull it slightly inside the cylinder. Okay. Let's check and see what that looks like. Okay, not too bad. Right, so now we've got that. I'm going to select my Lego text, shift select the cylinder. I'm going to go to mesh and combine. So now that's one part, so to speak. Back to my top view. So I got that. I'm going to hit Control D to copy that, W to move it over, and that looks about good. Click and shift click to have these both. Control D to duplicate, and do one there, and shift D to duplicate that once more. Okay, that looks good. All right. So now we got that part, and now let's flip this over and work on the inside. Okay. So we're going to drag select the entire brick, go to mesh and combine, hit E to flip the whole thing over, and again, in this case 180 degrees, so we're good on that. Okay. Now, there are two open pipes in the middle here, so we're going to create one of those, drag that out, we'll scale it down in a bit, something like that. We're going to make sure that it's nice and round, so I'm going to check that here in my subdivisions in my attribute editor, make that about 60, and we're going to hit R to scale that down. And as you can see, the thickness of the wall is a bit too much, so I'm going to decrease the thickness to, let's say, 0.3. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Now we're going to move that into position. So I'm going to go to my top view, hit W, and I'm going to start to move that to about this area. Hit F to zoom in. Okay. That looks, yeah, about right. Okay. I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate that to this end. Okay. Now we're going to check it from our side view to see, in this case from our front view, to pull them down into position and to make them the right length. F to zoom in, R to scale, and we hit W to pull it down a bit. That should be about right. Okay, it's starting to look like something. Alrighty. Now I'm going to drag select the whole thing, pull it up a little, so we're not looking at the grid here. Okay. Now in a Lego brick you got these little segmented walls here, so that's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to go to our cube. We're going to drag select a thin wall, so to speak, something like that. I'm going to start to move that in position. So we're going to go to our top view again. And we're going to get that here. Hit F to zoom in. R to scale this down a bit as far as thickness is concerned, and the length as well, something like that. That would be about right. Okay, it needs to connect this wall to this cylinder. And I'm going to hit Control D to do the same for the other side. Hit F to zoom in. Yeah, it's connecting both. Let's see if we're okay on height. And we are clearly not. So that one's selected. Shift select that one. Pull these two up. F to zoom in. Okay. And we're going to hit R to scale these so that they both fit a bit better. That should be about right. Okay. Alrighty. So obviously they need to move over. 1 and 2. Gonna go back to my top view. These, I thought something was off. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Hit R to scale. These two need to be in connection with these two, not these 6. All right. So we're going to hit W, pull it in, scale it down just slightly. All right, get rid of that one. So that one's good. Control D, move that up. Shift click both, Control D, move that over. That should be better. Okay, we need to clean it up just a little. That's the risk of eyeballing it. I mean, if your measurements are exact, you won't have that problem. Okay. Now, that looks good to me. So, drag select it, mesh, combine. We're going to do a quick render. So I'm going to select the ground plane, right click on it, assign new material. I'm going to go with a Fung E, and I'm going to make that white. And I want 2 Lego bricks in my render, so I'm going to hit Control D. So I got the entire thing duplicated. Select that one, hit E and rotate it. To 180 degrees. Hit W to pull that up. Okay. I'm going to go to this view here. Okay, so we've got one on the ground plane, and we're going to rotate that one. So in the render, you can see both sides of the brick. That's the idea anyway. So let's see how we're doing. Okay. That's about right. Okay. See if these two are touching. They are now. All right. Okay. I'm going to give them some quick color. Select that one. Right click, assign new material. I'm going to go with a simple Lambert, and we'll make that one red. And we'll select that one. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Right click on the second one, assign new material. Again, a Lambert. Color select and go with blue. And we're going to create some quick lights. Create lights and point light. Pull that up a bit. Pull it out. Let's see where my lights are at. There's one there. Hit Control D. Duplicate that light, pull it back a bit. Shift click both lights. Go to my tab. And in my Shadows tab, I want to use Depth Map Shadows. Alright. Okay, now for the render. We're zoomed in on these two blocks here. Go to my render settings. I like to work with Mental Ray. In this case, we didn't use any Mental Ray materials, so you could use, Maya software, but I'm going to use Mental Ray in this case. I'm going to set my quality to 1.25 roughly. Now I'm in Maya 2014. If you got a previous version, your quality will look a bit different. You'll have production quality and so on. So just select production quality, that's okay. I'm going to go to my Common tab. And I'm going to set this to HD 1080. Okay. We should be ready to render. And let's do that. Okay. Now I'm going to hit pause while it's rendering, unless it goes really quick. Okay, I'll just quickly pause it. Be back in a second. Right, guys, the render is complete, this is, pretty much a set of Lego bricks. As you can see, it's not 100% clean, but I'm trying to keep some speed into it, so this is not going to take forever. But again, there are a lot of references out there. If you search on Lego brick blueprint or something like that, you'll find a good material, and then you can just copy it from that. Okay, this is it for today, and hope you liked it. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments sections, and subscriptions are really appreciated. Thanks, and see you guys next time. Bye.